Yes, sir.
So-
K-Meaty. Cash Money. Middleton. Welcome to another episode of the Thanalysis Show with your one and only Thanasis Antetokounmpo. What's up, Tony? Hey, first of all, and Tony C. I want to say we're in a new studio, by the way, as you guys can see.
We are in a new studio.
We're on the road shooting. It's amazing. You guys have been amazing. I know you guys are watching our shows, watching everybody, the guests we have. From now on, we're going to start giving you guys a little bit of more previews, right? A little bit of more insight on what we're doing and what's in store.
Yeah, we're going to be reacting to games. We're going to be previewing games. And on occasions like today, we're going to record special episodes because the Milwaukee Bucks had a little bit of breaking news earlier today. We're recording this on Thursday, so whenever you watch it, Khris Middleton is back.
Yes, sir.
So-
K-Meaty. Cash Money. Middleton.
Don't stop. Keep going. What other nicknames we got for him?
You ever seen the song? The song when he scores?
No.
It-
Isn't it
Oh, no, it's this. Whenever he scores
at the game, right?
at the game, everybody goes like, money, money, money,
Oh,
money.
yeah, That's a classic.
Money. That's the song.
It's been so long, I forgot that's what DJ Shauna plays when Khris Middleton scores. So you're excited.
I'm very excited.
Bucks fans should be excited.
Every Bucks fan should be excited. Everybody in the league should be excited, by the way, for somebody coming back. NBA viewership should be up because Khris is coming
100%.
back. Like, I'm ready. I don't care about the outcome. I don't care about nothing. I just want to see those three guys on the court for as long as we can.
I'm assuming there's no report about this. You're coming back. You're going to get eased in. Probably a little bit of a minutes restriction. Whatever. He's not going to play 48 tomorrow. Let's just be honest about that.
So I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You don't see somebody playing 48. Obviously, minute restrictions, like you said. I think the most important thing is the film, man. You get this guy back in the locker room. Get this guy back in. I mean, he's been in the locker room, but get this back on the court. Get him back in the huddles, in the mix of things, and just the boost confidence for the player, for the teammates as well. We've been missing him.
All right, so obviously, as you said, people should be excited that he's back. No one's going to play the whole game. That's not how the NBA works, but I wanted to do an entire episode about Khris Middleton.
Yeah, go.
Two reasons. One, capitalize on the excitement that he's back.
Yes.
The other one, when it comes to, we did that segment a couple weeks ago, Peyton Pritchard, Austin Reeves, talking about like underrated players. Underappreciated players.
Underappreciated, 100%.
Khris Middleton's got to lead the league in underappreciated players.
Underappreciation.
Right?
He leads the league in every category when it comes to that. I think, first of all, the biggest thing about Khris too is like the how much he's put in his craft. How much he's grown and with Giannis.
They came up together.
Yeah, and I think people just really, really sometimes like downplay his skill set.
Mm-hmm.
But then after sometimes they, it's one of those things that they downplay your skill set and then you do something and then they go overboard with it. They're never even.
Mm-hmm.
He never gets this even appreciation. Like,
that's
you know
fair.
what I'm saying?
Well, that's kind of what we do here.
Yeah,
honestly, it might be kind of our fault.
Yeah, but I pride myself on the show, on this podcast, and as an individual, and as a podcaster or attending shows, as a guest in other shows, always to be even. I never,
For sure.
I never go overboard.
That's what we try to do.
Overboard. So sometimes when people think I'm funny, I'm actually being honest.
No, a lot of the thing is like when Khris Middleton hit the shot against Indiana last year to go to, it was, if you turn whatever show you turned on the next day, it was, is Khris Middleton the closer over Dame? Is it Chris's team? Because that's how people have to react to things. But when he's not playing well, or the Bucks aren't playing well, it's Khris Middleton's 37 years old. He's not actually, but you know what I mean? He's too old. And then if you look at the internet, he's been traded about 14,000 times this season because people think that's a realistic thing to do.
Everybody. Giannis has been traded. Dame has been traded. Everybody. Myself. Everybody.
You've been traded. You signed in Lithuania this year if I looked at the internet.
Bro, it's crazy.
I'm going to get back to Khris in a second. Did you ever see, I almost sent it to you, there was a thing that went around that said that you got offered a deal in the Middle East for $500 million because you promised Giannis would play there when he retired from the NBA.
First of all, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about me, because this is business now. Now when you say Middle East, we're talking about business. Do you understand how much money is $500 million?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't understand it. I know what it looks like.
It looks like it's a lot of money. Now, if I would play in the Middle East, of course, I would play. I don't care. As long as, if the NBA was in the Middle East, I would play. It's just about the NBA and about the best of the best.
Sure.
So I think that's what people should think about. Now, they said what? Because
you promised that Giannis would play there after he retires from the NBA.
I can't promise all.
I know. It's just the internet. The internet's a funny place.
This is how crazy people think. Like people actually think that. This is how crazy this is. Like, oh yeah, he had told them if he does this, he's gonna what? What are you talking about?
For sure. So I put together a couple of questions about Khris Middleton that I wanted to ask you, and then I might have screwed up a little bit.
No.
So I put out a tweet. I want to read you the tweet because
you put that tweet from your account or from the show account?
Thanalysis show.
Okay, go.
So I put, we're recording a special Cash Money Middleton edition of Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis today. If you have a question for Thanasis about Khris Middleton, or if you just want to share your favorite Khris moment, send it our way for the show. Mm-hmm. When reading that, did you think I said Khris Middleton was on the show today? Because that was the fan reaction.
That was the fan reaction?
And I feel kind of bad. So fans of the show,
no.
That's my mistake. I feel bad.
That wasn't the fan reaction. Mind you, he already said he was going to do the show, by the way. So tune in. He's going to be on the show.
It's just not today, and I'm sorry. I did not mean to word it in a way.
Hey, no. Don't apologize for other people's interpretation. Hey, you need to say crazy. Don't apologize for other people's interpretation.
We did get a lot of people who did chime in with their favorite Khris moments, some other things. The 40-point game in the one. Somebody said when watching Khris drop 40 in person at the Forum during Game 4 of the Finals was one of my favorite moments of my entire life. Mm-hmm. Then we had another person that said, "Did Khris wake up feeling dangerous when he dropped 40 in the Finals?" People really go to that one. A lot of people chimed in with the double buzzer beater game against Indiana last year. Mine, I think, is the 2020. He had 51 and 10 against the Wizards at home. That was tough. That was a special performance.
Yeah, that boy's special, man. You're special, Khris. Hey, Khris, you're special, boy.
So I'm going to ask you about a bunch of those in a sec, but I have some other questions, including the relationship between Giannis and Khris is very well documented. Giannis gets drafted in 13 in June. Khris gets traded for in July or August. Before the season started.
And then he got from Detroit, and they both kind of.
And I think it was Eric Name from The Athletic one time did like a breakdown of the battles they used to have in practice, the scars, the scratches, the whole deal. When's the first time Giannis told you about Khris? Like, was there ever like we got this dude in practice?
I mean, from the beginning, I think it was from the first ones that I think he had a buzzer beater against Miami at home, and I remember I was like, oh, that's one of the guys, for the team, and he's always been like that, just just level-headed player and just be like, hey, I'm just here to do my job and loved Milwaukee and, obviously got paid, paid in Milwaukee and said, I'm going to stick with Jan. I'm going to stick with the team. I'm going to stick with the guys here and, rock out. So he's always been, not only before I came to the team, I always had love with him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Before you came to the team. I would see him
in Vegas. I would see him, team stuff. If I ever, we ever went to support Jan or anything like that, I always say hi to him.
I can just envision, Giannis starts off practicing with the Bucks, and he calls you the way you guys talk all the time, and he just goes like, we got this guy. We be going at it in practice.
Yeah, definitely. But the time what people don't remember really was actually the guy who was really, he's never been Khris is Khris, right? Because they've been together and this leadership and obviously, but it was more with Jabari. Jabari was the guy. Yeah, it was Jabari was the. I don't even remember
I was a huge Jabari Parker fan.
Yeah, because first of all, you see what he just did in Oaxaca in the national team now in Greece. He was playing against Panathinaikos.
Okay,
smooth.
Still smooth. He was a bucket.
But smooth.
Jabari Parker. I became a huge fan of his. He went to Duke, so I wasn't a huge fan of him in college because I just have a natural dislike toward Duke. But I have an older cousin who I grew up with, went to all Bucks games with. He got really sick, and he was at a game with his kid. And for some reason, Jabari just pointed him out. I think you could notice, right?
Yeah.
And pointed him out, brought him down, told the host, like, hey, whatever he wants, he's with his son. Whatever he wants, just take care of it. Like, out of nowhere. And like, I will always be a Jabari. He could play for the Celtics again. He could play. I will be a Jabari Parker.
Yes, sir.
He's
He's just him, his family, man. Just great people, man. Just great family, and you know what was the crazy? And it was him and Jabari. That was the thing, because if you remember, like, they actually drafted a guy in the same kind of position as Jan, right? So, and think about this: you get drafted number 15, then another guy comes in who's like all-time prospect, like.
Oh, they were talking about him as a sophomore in high school out of Chicago.
Of course, all the time. And his comparison is Carmelo, and he's this. And you're like, oh, that's the guy. And I think after not the bob heads, like the guy, like, oh my God, this is the guy who's going to, push me, right? And then, those three. And then Margaret Williams came into the picture, all those guys, and they grew up, and, they start growing more and more. And then, unfortunately, I think, just with injuries, and then obviously he decided not to resign and leave. But it would be nice if he'd stayed or resigned. That
had to be tough though, hometown team, because when he left the Bucks, he went to the Bulls first. It was hometown.
Yeah, but the whole situation. I mean, I'll hope, and I actually said we sent him this clip. I hope he comes on the show.
Oh, that'd be
like that's some stuff he really gotta talk about. We know like in this podcast, like, to get some real breakdown. Yeah, real breakdown, like, of like free agency and stuff that's going on. Like, he'll tell you. So, and I don't want, never want to speak in something I've heard or what I've seen, but I think, it would be nice, it would be great, And I always like kind of miss his game, and not miss his game, just as, like, man, I get to see highlights before, and I'm like, hey, man, it's good to see those guys.
So, going back to Middleton here, a couple weeks ago, you said he's elite. It went viral. You were all over. Oh yeah, your clip went viral for sure, talking just about him and his ability. I think just to score the basketball. I believe you said when he gets on a heater, like, it's over.
Yeah.
So why does he not get the love he deserves nationally? I have my thoughts on it, but I swear he just doesn't get it.
So I have two views. Obviously, I'm biased. First view, I'm biased. Like, that's one of my guys. So the one view is like, I don't really know. No, I don't really. I'm like, man, he's gay player, like, he's never done anything not to get some more love. Now, from the unbiased view, and if I want to be the advocate, devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it, I would say it's because we're a small market. Same reason Giannis doesn't get love. Like, I don't think you can't.
That's fair.
Same reason Giannis. We're a small market. The other reason is, I mean, he was hurt for a minute, so it kind of fills in. Some stuff into consideration. Just been, it's been hard this past.
I mean, the last two seasons. I think he played 30-something games 2 years ago, and then last year maybe in the 50s.
Yeah, and we was really unfortunate not to have him at 22. We would have won again, 22. Yeah. I promise you. That series we played against the Celtics, and we lost like game 7.
Game 7, yep.
We would have won with Khris. I promise we would have won with Khris. No way. We would have won. And disclaimer out there, you can say whatever you want to say. I guarantee you we would have won. We would have won.
I think everyone pretty much
pretty
much says that. Yeah,
but it doesn't matter, because that's how sport is. That's how sports is. It's not if and don'ts and maybe and why.
Yep.
So, but one of the reasons we talk about, like, the love and stuff like that, I don't really think there's a big reason that he doesn't get love.
I just think he doesn't. Like, Khris Middleton is in that category for me with guys we've talked about on the show before, like Jamal Murray, for example, ball player out of Denver, right? Great ball player.
Jamal gets way more love than
he gets way more, but still, like,
Khris
to me, doesn't get the love and attention I think he deserves in terms of basketball.
Wow, I'm not digging this. I'm sorry. I need a water. That's why I need water.
We keep the camera on me for that one. But I feel like it's one of those just, like, personality things. People just don't see, like, a big personality, so they're like, oh, they don't pay a ton of attention to him. Because sometimes people don't actually pay attention to the basketball. It's the person.
It's the person. Oh, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think as well, it does play a role in the market too. And I think sometimes people just gravitate towards other people. And so you're trying to tell me, like, Jamal Murray has this great, like, online presence, and Khris doesn't?
I'm saying he doesn't. He doesn't, and that's why I don't think he gets the love he deserves either. Okay. I just think there's some players, like, you can look at other sports too. Like, you see how the NFL markets certain players, and there's guys who are like, all right, this guy's really good, but gets no shine. And it's just one of those things. People just gravitate toward different personalities, but I don't think it should ever take away from the opinion of Khris Middleton on the basketball court.
I just thought about that. Now that you said NFL, I kind of, because, I'm just like studying all the sports. So I can, when I go to talk shows, when I go to other shows, I can actually talk about other sports. And I was talking about Julio Jones. And comparing to Odell Beckham and the other guys you see more and more and more. And I was like, Julio Jones, wow. I don't really, you don't really see him out there so much as other guys. What?
Not even when he was, so in football, it's the AFC and the NFC.
Yeah.
And then the Packers got to the NFC Championship game in 2018, probably. They played the Falcons. I think Julio Jones had like 150 receiving yards in the first half of that game.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
But never the superstardom of a Odell.
But does he have superstar numbers though?
He has Hall of Fame first ballot numbers.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So now that you mentioned the NFL, it's kind of the same kind of feel like you're telling me the same thing now, but with Jamal and Khris Middleton and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think of other guys in the league that I feel the same about. I just think for basketball fans out there, if you want to see just it might not be SportsCenter top 10 every single time he pulls up from the mid-range or plays defense on the perimeter, but it's real basketball. It's good. It's winning basketball. That's what I'm just going to call it.
Winning basketball.
Winning basketball.
Mr. Fundamentals.
Yep. Love that. I wanted to get inside your head a little bit. You were part of all of these things. So I mentioned earlier 51 points and 10 rebounds against Washington.
Yeah.
I think it was the game before the game after. Then Giannis went for 55 with no turnovers, right immediately after that. What do you remember about Khris going for 50? Or more specifically, when a player on your team or a player that you're friends with or whatever is going off and you're just watching it, how do you watch that game?
How do I watch him? I mean, in the beginning, you're just locked in the game, right? And they're making shots and you're hyped. And then after a little bit, you kind of you see him, you look at the scoreboard, and if we're winning, everybody, start, a certain point, everybody starts to look, okay, we're up 15 or 20, whatever the case might be. I can't remember exactly what we were really up in that game, but I think we won that game.
You won the game. It was against Washington. I'll bring it up here.
Yeah, if it was close.
I don't think it was necessarily close, but that was in 2020. So it was right before the world lost its mind. Let's bring it up here. Middleton.
So give me out, and I'll tell you.
All right, so it was on Tuesday, January 28th. Y'all won by 20.
Okay, we won by 20.
Yeah.
So
151.
150. We scored 151.
You put up 151.
Okay. So
at one point you guys were up by 26.
Okay, so we're up by 26. Probably in the bench. We're probably So let's say now we're up by 12. Okay. And he's getting a hitter. He's making shots. We're on the bench, and now we look at the scores. He got 40. And every shot he makes, we're like, get him, Khris. Get him, Khris. Yeah, get him, Khris. You hype him up, and then all of a sudden, you look up and he has 50. But
I'm just looking at a shot chart. He did.
They damage.
1, 2, 3, probably 4 or 5 threes. Yeah, he had a nice game that day. 2021, then a year later, against the Atlanta Hawks. Giannis is hurt. Middleton takes over.
Yeah.
Just walk me through watching that.
So I'll tell you what it is too, right? Middleton is off the third game, right? And we're like, oh shoot, it's hard to deny. The guys are playing great, and then all of a sudden Khris just goes crazy. But I cannot explain it. We literally walk them down. That's an expression. Anybody who's a hooper and played,
walking them down.
We walk them down play after play. Shot after shot, and then Khris 45. Come down, Juice coming down to the corner. Khris again. I think he might have scored 16 or 20 in a row.
I think he at one point he had 20 of 24.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
In a row.
So
it was just this Kobe-esque type of, because mind you, the reason we keep saying about Michael Jordan and Kobe, I would say Khris, because bro, he's 6'8".
That's true.
You can't block his shot. It's almost impossible to block his shot. And he has this footwork that is elite. This shoulder to shoulder, right? And the other thing about about his shot as well. It's hard to defend because when he shoots it forward. He's not going high up. So when he shoots it forward, you almost foul him. That's why he's getting so many fouls. If you notice, whenever he shoots a three.
So he's not, I mean, it's high argument, but he's not going up this way.
Thank you. It's not elbow to over the head. It's not this. It's forward. So when he's shooting forward, it's hard to.
I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that. That's something.
Watch.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out for that on Friday because he'll be back in the game.
Friday, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Friday.
So, and then the last one I want to just hit on Khris Middleton with you is last year against Indiana. Obviously, the series didn't go the way you guys wanted it to, like those other two games we just talked about. But Khris took over.
Yeah.
And throughout his career, really, even if you go back to like 2017 and late games against the finals or against the Celtics in the playoffs. He was kind of the go-to guy with, I don't know, let's just say 5 seconds left on the clock, and you need a last-second shot. But against Indiana last year, he got him to fall.
Yeah.
And when you're in those huddles...
He's always made last-minute shots, though. He's always made... He made those with the Suns. He's made those against the other teams. He's made those against Miami. Didn't we? He made a crucial shot, sent us to overtime. We beat Miami first game?
I think so. In the 21 run?
Yeah.
Because that was the only close game that year.
He's always this guy who makes last minute shots from outside. He's always been our go-to guy from the outside going in. I mean, obviously, if I'm with a bucket and it's 2 or 3, whatever. Nowadays, I just give it to one of the 3.
So looking ahead now, they get Middleton back.
Yeah.
Dame is playing really well right now.
Sure.
Giannis is playing like a top 2 MVP candidate in the NBA right now.
Keep it up.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Brook is still Brook.
Yeah.
Taurean Prince is hitting threes.
Yes, sir.
Why would anyone want to play the Bucks right now?
For the same reason you want to play Steph Curry, the same reason you want to play LeBron, the same reason you want to play Nikola Jokic. It's competitiveness. They want to beat us. Everybody wants to beat you when you're a good team, right? The same reason you want to play the Boston Celtics.
So you want to play the best?
Yes. I want to play the best. You want to play the best. And I think you want to play them now. Time will tell how we play and what's going to happen in the middle of the season. But, just that's the thing. Stay together. Play as many games as you can. And then we'll see at the end.
I think that wraps it up for the Khris Middleton special.
Thank you so much. Khris Middleton special. K-Mitty. So glad to have you back, brother. You've been amazing. Stay locked in, Bucks fans, everybody, people in Greece who are listening, people who love the show on a daily basis. Thank you so much. Without you guys, this doesn't happen. Want to thank our sponsors, Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. You guys are amazing. Hey, Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call.
That's all.
That's all. Tony C. And we want to thank Carbliss. You guys have been amazing. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow our shows on Instagram and Twitter and on YouTube. We're crushing it right now. Thank you guys so much. Thanalysis is out.